everyone. Today, we're going on a guided tour of a part of the body that we all talk about, but let's be honest, not many of us truly understand. I'm talking about the abdomen. So let's dive into your body's powerful core.
Okay, first things first, let's clear up some major confusion. You've probably said you have a stomach ache, right? But are you really talking about your stomach or your abdomen? People use these words like they're the same thing all the time, but as you're about to see, they are very, very different. So here's the key thing to remember. Your abdomen isn't an organ. Not at all. It's a space, a really important body cavity that sits right between your chest and your pelvis. Your stomach is just one of the many organs that lives inside this space. A good way to think of it is this. The abdomen is the neighborhood, and the stomach is just one of the houses.
So if it's such a vital neighborhood, how is it all protected? Let's take a look at the abdomen's first line of defense, its amazing protective layers.
You know, a great way to think about this is to picture a kind of dynamic, living corset. The layers of muscle in your abdomen wrap all the way around your core, holding all your organs in just the right place. It gives you incredible protection, but it's still flexible enough to let you bend and twist. Pretty cool, right? So on the very outside, you've got skin and fatty tissue that act like shock absorbers. As you go deeper, you hit these powerful muscle walls. We're talking about muscles like the transversus abdominis that physically hold all your organs in. And then finally, lining the whole cavity and wrapping the organs themselves is this thin, super important membrane called the peritoneum. It basically allows everything to move around smoothly without any friction. It's just an amazing system of protection.
All right, so we've seen the defenses. Now let's actually head inside and meet the residents of this vital neighborhood. First up, we've got the all-star digestive team. This is probably what most people think of when they hear the word abdomen. You've got the stomach, the small and large intestines, the liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and yep, even the appendix. This is the powerhouse crew that's responsible for breaking down all your food and soaking up the nutrients.
But it's not just about digestion, not by a long shot. The abdomen also houses what I like to call the filtration and drainage crew. You've got the urinary system with the kidneys and bladder, which manages all your fluid balance and gets rid of waste. And then you have the lymphatic system, including the spleen, which is a huge part of your immune defense, filtering out nasty bacteria and waste to keep you healthy.
Okay, so you have all these different teams all working at the same time, but how do they know when to work and when to rest? How is this whole operation coordinated? Well, the answer, of course, is the nervous system.
And this is where it gets truly fascinating. Your abdomen basically has two bosses, and they give opposite instructions. On one hand, you have the sympathetic nerves. They trigger your fight or flight response, telling your gut to slow way down during stress to save energy for other things. Then, when you relax, the parasympathetic nerves kick in and signal rest and digest. But here's the kicker. This isn't just some simple on-off switch. The gut has over 100 million nerve cells. That's more than your entire spinal cord. It's so complex, it's often called our second brain, constantly sending signals that influence not just digestion, but our mood and even our intuition. That gut feeling you get, it's totally real.
Of course, with so much complex machinery packed into one space, things can sometimes go wrong. So, let's take a quick look at what happens when this system runs into a bit of trouble.
The first thing you need to know is that your body has a very, very clear alarm system for this area. Overwhelmingly, the number one symptom of an issue in the abdomen is pain. It's your body's way of screaming at you to pay attention. And that pain can signal a whole bunch of different issues. For instance, a hernia. That happens when an organ actually pushes through a weak spot in those protective muscle walls we just talked about. Appendicitis? That's an inflammation of the appendix, one of the members of that digestive team. Gallstones and kidney stones are these hardened deposits that can cause painful blockages in the gallbladder or the urinary system. You can see how each problem links right back to the specific anatomy we've just explored. So, after hearing about what can go wrong, you're probably asking, what can you do about it? Well, the good news is there's a lot. Let's finish our tour with a simple user's manual for keeping this whole system healthy. Here it is, your 5-point plan. And honestly, it's incredibly powerful. Drinking more water keeps everything running smoothly. Eating more fiber gives that digestive team the support it needs. Regular exercise? That strengthens the living corset of your muscle walls. Cutting back on alcohol gives your liver and pancreas a much-needed break. And finally, just paying attention to which foods make you feel good or bad can make a world of difference. You know, when you really step back and look at the whole picture, it's truly remarkable.
Your abdomen really is like a bustling city of organs, all with different jobs, all communicating and cooperating 24/7 to perform these essential functions that you don't even have to think about.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. This incredible system works tirelessly for you, every single second of every single day. After seeing everything it does, the real question is, what's one small thing you'll do today to support it in return?